Hey guys, it's Roscoe, and on the Space Crash today I've got another sci-fi classic for you. And it's this, Alternate Presidents, edited by Mike Resnick. It's a collection of short stories. You see here, of course, the entire principle of Thomas Dewey holding up a newspaper saying Truman defeats Dewey. Obviously, it was Dewey defeats Truman, with Harry Truman holding up that newspaper in our own world. So I got this when I was doing my year in America in 92, 93, in the run-up to the election of Bill Clinton in 1992. And obviously it's like if the other guy won, all the way through, basically from the founding of America up to that point. Say, for instance, in 1988, Michael Dukakis wins on his inauguration day. Excuse me. They're attacked by aliens, that sort of thing. Or if, because Franklin Delano Roosevelt was the vice presidential candidate for the Democratic Party in 1920. So it imagines if that candidate had gotten elected and then died, and Roosevelt is then sworn into office in 1921, before he's got polio, and he contracts that in his first year. And in Germany, in our own world, Hitler led the beer pong putsch, which failed. In this universe, it succeeds, and he is the Chancellor of Germany in the 1920s rather than the 30s. And they form an alliance. These two great powers form an alliance against basically chaos, and I guess the Soviet Union as well. And it's very interesting because it does mention quite heavily about Hitler's views on the Jews, which he hadn't put into action as of yet in that timeline. But they work out all these details, and at the secret meeting in Switzerland, and the last line of that short story is, "The embers continued to cool," because it's called a fireside chat, which is what Roosevelt was known for. In this instance, it was between the two of them, and they basically lanced the boil before it happened. So many others, any president you can think of did not win in this version. Like, say, Kennedy loses in 1960 because Illinois flips to the Republicans instead of that handful of votes that it went to Kennedy in our world. And so many others. It's great. Thoroughly enjoyed. And like I said, I've had this for a long time. It's part of a series. Like, this was the first one. I've also got Alternate Generals, Alternate Americas, or is it Alternate New Yorks? Something like that. And Alternate Kennedys is the other one that I've got. And it's the same principle. Whatever happened in our world, the exact opposite happens there. So in, I'm not sure if it's this one or that one, in the 1968 election, Bobby Kennedy doesn't get assassinated. He is the Republican challenger for the presidency versus his brother Teddy, who's the Democrat challenger, and Nixon is Bobby Kennedy's vice presidential candidate. After the election, which Bobby wins, the two brothers go on a drive through Chappaquiddick. The car crashes through a bridge into the water, and Bobby Kennedy dies. And Richard Nixon is sworn in as the president. So, yes, fascinating book. Great series. It was a bit of the law of diminishing returns by the time it got to Alternate Generals, but lots of them were very, very good. And this book is excellent, especially for some of the candidates you might never have heard of before, which is what I thoroughly enjoyed as well, being a student at that time and since, of course, of American politics. So there you go, guys. I just thought I would show that one to you. It's one of my favourite books, and like I say, I've had it for a very long time, ever since I was at college in Minnesota back in 1992. Please subscribe to my channel if you enjoyed this content. Leave me a comment or suggestion for an upcoming topic you'd like to see discussed, or like the video.